Hello, I am Ryan F9 and these are my favorite off-road and motocross helmets. We're going to start in the bargain bin and work our way up to the premium models. So, I have the Fly Kinetic here. This is the orange and black blockout version and it retails just over $100. And I've already told you the main thing I like, the price. Other than that, this just does everything that a motocross helmet is supposed to do at a decent level of quality. I count 10 vents and 6 exhaust ports on this helmet, which is respectable. And I dug around on the inside as well to make sure that every single vent had a hole in the EPS foam underneath. See, a lot of manufacturers will try to trick you and they'll put a vent on the outside on the shell and then they won't follow it up with a hole in the foam beneath it, which is basically useless. It's nice to see that Fly didn't pull that trick here, even on its cheapest model. The Kinetic is only DOT certified, so it's not the safest helmet out there. But Fly has given us a dual density EPS foam here. So we have softer, lighter foam on the outside for little impacts, and then denser foam on the inside for those big mistakes. I suspect that the Kinetic is on the safer end of a DOT spectrum thanks to that system. The last thing that I really love about this helmet is the weight. This large clocks in at 1,458 grams, which is shockingly light for a plastic helmet. And I also found that it fit true to the sizing chart online and it's a neutral head shape. Now for $190, you can get the Fox V1 race helmet. And that's a $70 jump from the Fly, which honestly is kind of hard to understand at first. This large comes in at 1,505 grams, which is heavier than the Kinetic. And I also counted 9 intake vents and 4 exhaust ports, which is 1 less than the Kinetic. And after wearing both of them for a while, I can definitely say that the inside of the V1 is scratchier and less ventilated than the Kinetic. But there are 2 things that the V1 provides where the Kinetic falls short. Firstly, this helmet has a DOT and an ECE safety rating, which makes it a much safer bucket for motocross or aggressive off-roading. And the second thing? The V1 is way cooler looking. It comes in a million bright colorways, Honda red, Kawasaki green, KTM orange, whatever. It's also made to match a ton of other Fox gear, so if you're trying to put together a comprehensive kit, this is a good helmet to choose. I was absolutely obsessed with Fox racing gear when I was a kid because they nailed the moto style. And maybe I'm still obsessed with Fox because I prefer this helmet over the Kinetic and I know I shouldn't. The last thing I'll say is to beware of the sizing on this guy. My 58 centimeter head would put me squarely in a medium according to the chart online. But this neutral head shape large fits me perfectly. Now we're going to take a big leap forward with the HJC RPHA-X. And this is a $300 lid which puts it in the middle price bracket, but believe me when I say this is really top end quality. For the first time, we're seeing a premium shell construction come into play here. Like all of HJC's RPHA line, this helmet uses their PIM system for premium integrated matrix. Basically, it's a weave of carbon fiber, Kevlar-like aramids, fiberglass, and organic fibers. That gives a maximum strength to weight ratio, which lets this helmet pass DOT and Snell certifications while staying very slim and light. To put a number on it, this guy tips the scales at 1,422 grams, which is way lighter than anything else we've seen. The ventilation on this helmet doesn't look amazing at first. 11 intakes and 4 exhausts is really nothing to write home about. But the RPHA-X is smarter than it looks. Basically, HJC uses something that they call ACS, or Advanced Channeling System. And all that means is that this helmet is designed to cut through the air on the outside in such a way that it creates high pressure zones near the intake vents and low pressure zones near the exhaust ports. Meaning that it literally sucks cool air in and draws hot air out like an air conditioner. The result is a double whammy. The RPHA is the most aerodynamic dirt helmet that I've ever worn. And at the same time, it's the second best ventilated helmet that I've ever worn. The RPHA-X is really comfortable on the inside. HJC uses ginkgo extract in the padding, which makes it almost silky, but at the same time it retains its moisture-wicking, odor-free, and antibacterial properties. Underneath the visor as well, there's a tag for your racer info. Name, phone number, and rather ominously blood type. A lot of stuff tends to get jumbled around in the pits. And I think the RPHA is actually going to get really common once people realize how great of a deal they are. So the label tag is actually probably useful. I was happy to find that my sizing in the RPHA-X matched the chart online, and this head shape is a neutral that tends more towards the round side. Now earlier I mentioned that the RPHA was the second best venting helmet that I've ever worn. Well, say hello to number 1. And this is the Klim F4, and no joke, there are 41 vents in this thing. That pretty much blows away every helmet that's ever been made. I have known Klim in the snowmobile market for a long time, but now they're making a big push into the motocross market with the F4, which is a multi-purpose snowmobile and motocross lid. And let me tell you, the new kid on the block is also the king of the hill. Forget showy VFX, forget Bell Moto 9, forget Fox V4. Klim is doing everything better with the F4, And while they're still new to the dirt game, this helmet is wildly underpriced at $479. You're getting a fiberglass, carbon fiber, and Kevlar shell, so the F4 is going to stay really, really slim while still passing the safety ratings. And for how narrow this helmet is, it's still a neutral head shape, and the eye port is still really, really big. And we've tried lots of large frame goggles in this guy, and we haven't had any fitment problems. Now, I never mention helmet bags in these videos. Some helmets come with nice ones, others come with shitty ones, but it just doesn't matter because most people will never use it. With Klim though, I just had to show you this. I mean, what the hell is going on here? Klim could charge $100 for this duffel and get away with it. And then if you dive into the pocket, you find that you have this Gore-Tex windproof liner that snaps into the helmet, and you also have this breath guard in case you want to take it snowmobiling or even if you just ride motocross in cold weather. Now, I'm going to close with a serious warning. There is an ECE rated version of this helmet, and then there's also a Snell and a DOT rated version of this helmet. And the ECE one is amazing. It's lighter than the RPHA, it's slimmer, it's better in every way. But the Snell version is a full pound heavier. So if you absolutely have to get a Snell helmet, just forget the F4 entirely. Get the RPHA all day long. And that's it for my favorite dirt helmets. Thank you guys very much for watching.